I thought adding some straps to kind of hold the long drawer in place would be better than wrapping it around and hooking it here and hooking it there. So I put in some strategic little hooks, one on one side and one on the other. The one on this side right here, it's actually hooked to the child safety anchor on the reverse side of the seat, and that actually worked out really well. So I kind of have it tugging from both sides, and it's very secure, and it's not going to crush me in case I have to slam on the brakes in some sort of evasive maneuvers on the road. So I think that's it's a good upgrade there. All right, so this is everything I packed for the trip. It's a whole lot of stuff. I learned a lot from this trip that I really don't need as much as I thought I did. I didn't need to bring 7 gallons of water because I only drank 2.5. I ended up bringing my stove, but didn't end up using it because there were like a million mosquitoes and I didn't want to go outside. And there were a couple other things I didn't use, but it's a great way to get out and use the car in the way I think it's going to be used, and then learn that I don't actually use it that way and modify it for the next time. Okay, as far as refrigeration things, I got a couple ice packs. I got a really small cooler. I tried to keep it real simple. I got some cashew milk and these little protein shakes, which I end up running out of space in here, and I put them in the car. I got some half and half for the coffee I don't actually end up making. I got these little yogurts to try out, and then a little kind of like morning shake, yogurt shake kind of thing to drink. And but I think all in all, it was good. It really worked out. I had plenty to eat, the next morning, and I didn't have to bring a real big cooler, so it was a success. All right, so now we're going to load up the car, and I take off all the headrests, lay down the seats as usual. I'm going to put in the long drawer first, and then I'm going to get in the 88-inch folding platform and take that with me. I still love that. That is by far my favorite platform. It works great. It has a whole lot of room. It works. It's awesome. So that little child lock, it fits on there, and then it fits on this loop here, and then you just cinch it tight. And then I have one that goes around the front and hooks around the other side, but we'll show that in a little bit. I got these little strips. They just stick on, and then you just magnetize this little light. It really adds a whole lot of light when accessing things at night. Now I realized my bag, my sleeping bag, could fit in the little space that the folded sleeping platform allows here. It also fitted 1 and 2 of my self-inflating 1.5-inch sleeping mats that I took with me. This one was a little more hard to finagle and get in there, but they all did go in, and that was a good use of that space for sure. Now here, like I said again, I took these all hold 2.5 gallons of water each, so it's at 2, 4, 6, 7. That's actually 7.5 gallons of water, so I did not need that much. I ended up only drinking one of them, though it was highly convenient. Every time I stopped and needed to fill up my cup, I would just walk back to the back of my car, pop the hatch, and then fill up my cup with water. It was really great. I stayed very hydrated, and it was I didn't have to spend money on anything else while I was out for sure. So that was great. And then loading this up, I ended up taking the stove but didn't end up using it. I actually didn't need to fill this up with a bunch of food or anything because I was only going for a day and a half, or really just like 36 hours. So I ended up putting my clothing and some kind of like ibuprofen and whatnot medications in this end of the drawer here. So it really worked out all in all. But I did learn on this trip that even this long drawer is still kind of too much space for just a day and a half trip. So I'm going to, in my next build, I'm actually going to be making a small drawer, more modified just for my use, which is like a day and a half trip. I'm all for, aspirations of driving from Texas to Canada and living in my car for an entire month, on the way there, and having everything I need and taking showers and all kinds of fun stuff. But, the reality of it is I just don't have the time or the funds to do that. What I do have time for and the funds for is like a trip that I did. I leave on a Friday and I come back on a Saturday, or I could leave on a Saturday and come back on a Sunday. That's what really works. I went alone. See, here's the strap here. It just goes to this little hook there, and it goes around to that prong on the side, and I pull it shut there. The only thing that this is kind of a negative is if I have to access the drawer, I do have to unhook that and then kind of cinch it back in. But like I was saying, my style of traveling is just a day and a half, and for that purpose, I think I need to modify, some of my builds. The sleeping platform, the 88-inch sleeping platform works great, but I think I need to make kind of a smaller, more snub, short drawer and everything, maybe that only holds one of those 2.5 gallon things of water, and maybe just almost like a shelving unit or something that could fit maybe in the cargo area. That way I can have room to put things as I move around. All right, first up on our way to Goose Island State Park is Victoria, Texas, and a lot of Victorian buildings. Enjoy. Wow, that was really awesome. I enjoyed that. There were a lot of houses and a lot of buildings there. A lot more to look at and see, but I need to get on over to Goose Island State Park. So here I am arriving now. I'm going to find my camping spot, and then I'm going to see what I should set up first. What I end up doing is setting up mosquito nets, because there are a lot more mosquitoes than I was anticipating. As a matter of fact, there are so many that I'm going to go ahead and scratch cooking that night or in the morning. I'm just going to eat a bunch of things that I brought in the cooler, which is why I'm glad that I brought that. And I'm going to go ahead and put it inside, and you're going to see me setting up the campsite and putting on the screens. And then we're going to head on out to the big tree and check that out and see an amazing sunset and some wildlife as well. Again, thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit that bell so you can see notifications for new films. And here's me putting everything together and swatting away the mosquitoes. Now that that's all done, let's head over to the big tree. I think it's a 1,000-year-old live oak, which is really impressive. Honestly, there's another tree that is not the big tree that is near the big tree that I end up taking a picture next to. I think it is even more impressive looking than the big tree. But either way, this was great. I then head down to that the bayside down there, and I see a beautiful sunset and some wildlife. I hope you enjoy it. It really was awesome. That was great. I had a good night. I had some breakfast as I watched this amazing sunrise and then headed over to Aransas Wildlife Refuge. Enjoy all of this amazing footage and wildlife, just the awesomeness of the earth. I also put together kind of a little compilation of all the observation decks that I experienced while at Aransas Wildlife Refuge, so enjoy these too. And here is the Fulton Mansion, which I think cost like $7 or something to go on this tour. You can just wander around wherever you want except for the 3rd floor. That's okay, there's a basement. I thought it was great and well worth it. Right on the bay, another awesome thing to do while down by Goose Island State Park. That was a great road trip. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next build, which is that modified shelf for my short visits and day and a half, getaways on the weekend, using my car and loving it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. Thank you for subscribing and liking the video. Hit that bell so you'll be notified for the next video. And remember, there's always room to sleep in your car.